all the time on these controversial plates, and we can continue
Senator.
to bring them. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Pansy Brooks. Senator Breezy, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good morning, colleagues. I rise today in opposition to this amendment to LB 46. As a member of the Transportation Committee, I had the privilege of hearing the testimony of many Nebraskans on this bill. Nebraskans both passionately for this proposal, Nebraskans both passionately opposed to this proposal. Along with all of my colleagues on the committee, I chose to advance this bill out of committee, and given the opportunity, I'll vote to advance it to select file. Why did I vote to advance it then, and why do I continue to support it? For several reasons. First of all, because I believe that Nebraskans support this bill and the opportunity it provides to display Choose Life plates just like drivers in 29 other states. Second, I agree with Senator Hilgers that there should be no constitutional objections to this bill. Third, contrary to what some have suggested, but as I believe Senator Schumacher has suggested, the words choose life are innocuous words, not intended to vilify, shame, or attack fellow Nebraskans. If I believed otherwise, I wouldn't be standing here. This bill simply provides Nebraskans another opportunity to show their support for life. I would ask you to oppose the amendment to the bill and support LB 46. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Breezy. Seeing no others wishing to speak, Senator Moorfield, you're welcome to close on Amendment AM 40.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, I won't belabor some of the arguments that have already been made. I think that when it comes to license plates and the states creating certain things, that the information on there should be neutral or widely considered as uncontroversial, such as military plates, Nebraska 150th birthday. Those types of things to me are non-controversial, and it's fine having the state create license plates that carry those messages because, again, they're fairly broadly held and widely received by 99% of the population. The concern that I have with LB 46 is that we are not providing an avenue for people and other individuals to have the opposing view when we do decide as a state to put controversial messages on license plates, something created by the state. And it may be constitutional. I trust Senator Hilgers has done his homework there, but quite frankly, I don't care if it's constitutional or not. I don't think that that's the path that we should be going down as a state in terms of creating license plates with controversial messages that don't allow the other side to have their message on that same type of forum. And so, with that being said, I would urge you to adopt Amendment 40. It is a substantive amendment. I think that we can all get behind stopping child abuse, which is where this funding was originally going to go. And if not, then you can certainly vote against it. That being said, I urge you to adopt Amendment 40, and thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Moorfield. The question before us is the adoption of AM 40 to LB 46. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote nay. Yes, Senator Moorfield.
Call the House, please.
There has been a request for a call to place the House under call. The question is, shall the House go under call? All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote nay. Record, Mr. Clerk.
26 ayes, 2 nays to go under call, Mr. President.
The House is under call. Senators, please record your presence. The unexcused senators outside the chamber, please return to the chamber and record your presence. All unauthorized personnel, please leave the floor. The House is under call. Senator Stinner, Williams, Keene, Geist, Blood, Christ, Erdman, Linehan, and Groney, please record your presence. Senator Stinner, Senator Christ, please return to the chamber. The House is under call. Senator Stinner, the House is under call. Please return to the chamber. Senator Morfeld, did you want to proceed with? Okay. Are you wanting a machine vote? Okay. We will go to a roll call. Mr. Clerk.
Senator Albright. Voting no. Senator Baker. Not voting. Senator Blood. Voting no. Senator Bowles. Not voting. Senator Bostelman. Voting no. Senator Brosh. Voting no. Senator Brewer. Voting no. Senator Breezy. Voting no. Senator Chambers. Voting yes. Senator Clements. Voting no. Senator Craighead. Voting no. Senator Crawford. Not voting. Senator Ebke. Voting no. Senator Erdman. Voting no. Senator Friesen. Senator Geist. Voting no. Senator Groney. Voting no. Senator Halloran. Voting no. Senator Hansen. Senator Haar. Senator Hilgers. Voting no. Senator Hilkeman. Voting no. Senator Howard. Voting yes. Senator Hughes. Voting no. Senator Kolowski. Not voting. Senator Kolderman. Voting no. Senator Christ. Not voting. Senator Keene. Voting no. Senator Larson. Senator Lindstrom. Voting no. Senator Linehan. Voting no. Senator Lowe. Voting no. Senator McAllister. Not voting. Senator McDonald. Voting no. Senator Morfeld. Voting yes. Senator Moretti. Voting no. Senator Pansing Brooks. Voting yes. Senator Quick. Not voting. Senator Reapy. Voting no. Senator Scheer. Voting no. Senator Shoemaker. Voting no. Senator Smith. Voting no. Senator Stinner. Voting no. Senator Vargas. Not voting. Senator Walls. Voting no. Senator Watermeyer. Voting no. Senator Wayne. Senator Williams. Voting no. Senator Wishart. Voting yes. Vote is 5 ayes, 31 nays on the adoption of the amendment, Mr. President.
The amendment fails. Mr. Clerk, for announcements. I'll raise the call.
Thank you, Mr. President. Your Committee on Education reports on 2 appointments to post-secondary education and the Committee for Statewide Assessment. New A bill, LB 447A by Senator Chambers, would appropriate funds to carry out the provisions of Legislative Bill 447. Your Committee on Education reports Legislative Bill 124 and 377 to General File, as well as 427 to General File and 645 to General File with amendments. We have received a memorandum in response to the order to show cause relative to the matter of the Special Committee on Election Qualifications of Senator Chambers. That's all I have at this time.
Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Mr. President, the next amendment I have is from Senator Chambers, Floor Amendment 2.
Senator Chambers, you're welcome to open.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the legislature, at last, this segment of it has been delivered into my hands. But before I launch into a discussion of my amendments, I'm going to read something from a case which I believe most of the people who hate it have never read, Roe versus Wade. Judge Blackmun wrote the opinion. This is to put into context what kind of issue we're dealing with that all of those people want to put on the license plate. And if I make very negative, harsh criticisms, they don't like that. But they're inviting that. So let me read these words. We forthwith acknowledge our awareness of the sensitive and emotional nature of the abortion controversy, of the vigorous opposing views, even among physicians, and of the deep and seemingly absolute convictions that the subject inspires. One's philosophy, one's experiences, one's exposure to the raw edges of human existence, one's religious training, one's attitudes toward life and family and their values, and the moral standards one establishes and seeks to observe are all likely to influence and to color one's thinking and conclusion about abortion. In addition, population growth, pollution, poverty, and racial overtones tend to complicate and not to simplify the problem. Our task, of course, is to resolve the issue by constitutional measurement, free of emotion and of predilection. We seek earnestly to do this. I don't know how many of you have your name, even though it's misspelled, in a Supreme Court decision. We seek earnestly to do this. And because we do, we have inquired into, and in this opinion placed some emphasis upon, medical and medical legal history, and what that history reveals about man's attitudes. Notice in an issue that deals with women, man's attitudes. And it's not derogating women. And it's one of those Freudian slips where this is a man's issue, not a women's issue. This is a man's issue. And I bet Senator McDonald will be able to mention one thing that I taught him, if nothing else. Freud was not making much money as a psychiatrist because they thought he was loony. So he went into the lingerie business and he said, we sell Freudian